Once upon a time, there was a little soul.
The little soul was happy. It lived in a place of pure light. It played with other little souls.
One day, the little soul heard a beautiful sound. It was God's voice.
God was telling stories.
The little soul loved God's stories.
The little soul wanted to be in God's stories. It wanted to experience everything God talked about.
God smiled down at the little soul. God explained that to truly know light, one must also know darkness.
The little soul was confused. It didn't understand what darkness was.
The little soul started to understand.
It saw that everything had an opposite: light and darkness, joy and sorrow, love and fear.
It realized that you couldn't have one without the other. They were two sides of the same coin.
The little soul began to see the world differently. It noticed the beauty in the contrast, the way the sun looked brighter after the rain, the way a hug felt warmer after feeling lonely. I understand now. To truly know light, I must also know darkness.
God smiled. God was proud of the little soul.
The little soul was scared but determined.
It knew that this journey was important. It was the only way to truly understand itself and the world around it.
So the little soul took a deep breath and jumped into the darkness.
At first, the darkness was overwhelming. The little soul couldn't see anything. It felt lost and alone.
The little soul started to feel scared. It wanted to go back to the light.
But then it remembered God's words. You are never alone.
The little soul took another deep breath. It started to explore the darkness. It realized that even though it couldn't see, it could still feel. It could feel the coldness of the darkness. It could feel the fear that lived there. The little soul went to God again.
I want to help the souls in the darkness. I want to remind them of their own light.
You are a kind soul, but to remind others of their light, you must first experience darkness yourself.
The little soul didn't understand.
But I am already in darkness.
There are many forms of darkness. To truly help others, you need to experience the deepest, most painful kind. You need to experience what it feels like to forget your own light.
The little soul was afraid. It didn't want to forget the light. It didn't want to feel that pain. But it knew that God was right. The little soul plunged into the abyss of forgetting. It forgot the warmth of God's love, the comfort of its own light. It wandered through the darkness, lost and alone, feeling the pain it had chosen to embrace.
I am so lost.
In the depths of its forgetting, the little soul encountered other lost souls. They were afraid, hurting, lashing out in their pain. The little soul felt their suffering as its own. It understood their anger, their fear, their despair. Yet even in the darkness, a spark of remembrance flickered within the little soul.
I remember my purpose, my love for the other souls.
It began to shine its light, faintly at first, then brighter as its compassion grew. The other souls, drawn to the little soul's light, began to remember their own. They reached out, connecting, sharing the burden of their darkness. And as they did, the darkness began to recede, replaced by a glimmer of hope. The little soul emerged from the darkness forever changed. It had faced its fears, embraced its shadows, and emerged stronger, wiser, filled with a profound love for all beings. It had discovered that forgiveness, like light, shines brightest in the darkness.
Darkness is not the absence of light, but the forgetting of it. And forgiveness is the light that guides us back home to ourselves. S1. I understand now.
God smiled, filled with pride.
You have learned well, little soul. Go now and share your light with the world. Remind others of their own inner light, their capacity for love, their power to forgive.
And so the little soul went forth, its journey a testament to the transformative power of self-discovery. Its story reminds us that we are all on a journey of remembering our own light, and in doing so, we illuminate the world.